We've got flip and right games. We've got exploration games. We've got flip and right exploration games. But no, this isn't cartographers. Find out what it is in Kylie's Pick of the Week. Hey everyone, I am Kylie here at Games Unlimited. This week I want to talk about the new Phil Walker Harding game, Explorers. Phil Walker Harding, one of my favorite designers. He's one of those designers that I will play anything he puts out. He's done Super Mega Lucky Box. He's done Sushi Go. He's done Cacao. He's just on fire. He has come out with a new flip and right game where you are exploring a landscape. It plays over 4 rounds. It's very similar to some things like Cartographers or Trails of Tucana, but it's got its own flair. So the board can actually be set up a bit randomly. Everyone's going to have their own board. And what you're going to do is the active player will flip one of these tiles and choose a landscape on it. So in this case, we've got desert and we've got mountain. So whichever landscape they choose, they get to X out 3 spaces. So if I chose desert, I get to X out 3 desert spaces, but each spot I X out has to be adjacent to another X. So you'll start the game at a crossroads that has all 4 landscape tiles. And so you're Xing out things. One of the things you're trying to do is make sure you give yourself options on future turns. So if I X'd out a bunch of desert spots that are only adjacent to other desert spots, I'm not gonna have a lot of options on my next turn. Whereas if I X out spots that also have some mountain, some ocean and things next to them, I'll have more options, because ultimately what you're trying to do is X out these icons on the board. So there are like different foods, produce and fish and things like that. Each round, I mentioned there are 4 rounds of the game. Each round, if you've managed to X out one type, like one apple, you're gonna get a couple points. But if you were able to X out an apple and a fish, you'll get 5 points. And if you're able to X out all 3, apple, fish, and carrots, you're gonna get 10 points. So you're trying to do that each round. You're only gonna get 7, it's either 7 or 8 flips per round, so they don't last very long. You want to go and X out these gems, because the gems are going to give you a point for every gem every round. So getting them early is going to compound, because you're going to score those gems all 4 rounds if you've gotten them early enough. There's also these like hidden quests that you've got to go. If you can X out a key, then later on you can go and X out one of these treasure maps. And the earlier you do it, the better, because you're going to get the first person to X out each of the 4 treasure maps gets more points than the second person and third person, etc. So a lot of standard roll and write, flip and write type mechanisms, but they all blend together so well. Now I mentioned the active player gets to choose one of these 2 things. All the other players can also make a choice, but if they choose the same thing the active player did, they only get to X out 2 of those spots. And I actually find this really ingenious, because often what happens, one of the things we love about this style of roll and write is the feeling that, everyone could do the exact same thing, right? We could just randomly happenstance have all chosen the same thing throughout the whole game and have the exact same score, the exact same map, the exact same outcome at the end. That's not true with this, because if the active player chooses desert and gets to X out 3 deserts and you choose desert, you're only going to get to X out 2 of them. So right off the bat, your exploration map is going to look different than everyone else's. I've just talked about the base game. There are actually some I wouldn't call them expansions, but advanced variants that are going to change up how some of the scoring works. It just gives the game a lot of life. This is, I think, going to be one of the new classic flip and write games. It's very easy to teach, very easy to play. That's Explorers from Phil Walker Harding. Come on down, check it out, take a copy home, and unbox some fun. I'm Kylie at Games Unlimited.